Today we've got a special treat for you. This is an update to a previously updated video on this story. If you haven't already seen episodes 1 and 2, they'll be linked below in the description. And this is the final update from 5 days since I served my soon-to-be ex-wife, 30 female of 7 years. Now everyone is piling on me to talk to her. I have moved back to my house with the kids. Sue also moved back in a few days ago. Mom and Dad is with us during the day and helps out a lot. Kids are doing well considering everything, but they are naturally shaken up. Their parents basically disappeared for 2 weeks while they were parked with their grandparents. I wish I handled the first 2 weeks better for the sake of my kids, but I just couldn't. I was totally lost, and it's been very hard to get back out of the hole I got stuck in. Getting back to the kids has helped me find a lot of strength I didn't even know I had. I am doing well. I'm happy to inform everyone that I am in control of my faculties. There is still a crap load of pain and trauma to work through, but I manage it very well now. I am more sure of myself. I feel confident and positive for the future. I am systematic and very detail-focused by nature. It helps me to maintain a detailed journal. Actually, for the both of us at the moment, me and Sue. It helps us dig deep into one issue. We have a dedicated 1-hour session where we talk every day. During this, we try to understand and prioritize the issues we need to discuss. We also put things on ice for dealing with later if we can't find a good solution or resolution for now. This 1 hour allows us to have some energy left to spend with the kids watching TV, playing, schoolwork, etc. 1 hour is pretty exhausting when we are brutally honest, so we limit it for the moment. It allows us to disconnect after the session, and we have made some good new memories, all of us together. This has helped us so much. I highly recommend this if you are working with a partner in a difficult situation like this. It naturally creates a plan of attack and allows us to fully work through issues with determination and a little bit of emotional distance. If we don't finish, we just continue the discussion the next day. Me and the kids have also talked a lot, and we have been to individual counseling for each of them, plus family therapy with me and the boys. The last session also included Sue. Sue struggled with the session. She is drowning in shame and guilt at the moment, so I guess we need to be patient. Sue has been out of the hospital for a few days and is better off living at the house with the rest of us. Before you guys pile on me to kick her out, I will not kick out the unemployed mother of my children in the middle of the pandemic. I think about it this way. When my kids are grown and they ask me about this period, I want to be able to be proud of most of my behavior. I find it's also very helpful to think about things long term. It helps me see past the overwhelming immediate pain and lets me set targets to aim for. Sue is in daily therapy and has been diagnosed with mild PTSD. Her therapist is sure she is no longer at risk of terminating herself. Kids have enjoyed having her at home. They miss their mother, of course. She seems stable, and I think staying is the best option for her and everyone at this point. Let's get one of the main issues out of the way. I have decided that divorce will go through. The deciding factor actually came from a private message dialogue I had with a self-proclaimed lesbian feminist. The discussion included a lot of nonsense about patriarchy and historical oppression, but she had some good arguments about my wife being a grown woman and therefore having agency. She praised me a lot for allowing my wife to make her own choices actually. Huh? Even if those choices were stupid. I actually regret not confronting Sue harder earlier, but I wasn't in a good place mentally, and I didn't make all the best choices. It's easy to see a better path in hindsight. The talk with the feminist was at times confusing, but the closing argument was, if this was a married gay couple with 2 males, would anyone question the agency of the partners? The WS or the BS? The answer to that is no, so I will treat my wife like she has agency to make her own choices and let her face the consequences from those. I have to accept that my wife made a choice to do this. It made perfect sense to her. It's what she wanted at the time. It was a stupid choice, but people make stupid choices every day. They drink and drive, they commit stupid acts, and in all cases. If they are exposed, there will be negative consequences of such bad choices. I have looked hard into myself, and here is what I have accepted. I can't reconcile Sue's actions with the woman I believed her to be. The hard truth is, I don't know this woman that used to be my wife. I just don't trust her anymore, and I cannot remain married to a person I don't feel I know or trust. It's absolutely devastating to Sue, but she accepts and understands my decision. She has offered everything to me in the divorce. All our assets, house, cars, full custody. I have said a hard no to that. We will divide assets fairly, and she will automatically regain 50-50 custody once she is okay with it, and is declared okay for this by her psychiatrist. She also has insisted that I find some woman and have an affair with her. I will not do that. I'm not really interested in getting into another relationship. I feel I have enough on my plate. Secondly, I think Sue wants this. primarily because she believes this will ease her guilt. I, on the other hand, don't see how bringing more pain and confusion into the situation will help anything. Also, I don't have the right to bring an innocent third party into this painful mess. She has also offered full access to everything, complete transparency, and to not do anything without my permission. But I don't want to be her warden or her jailer. If she wants to show me, fine, she can. But I will not monitor her like I have done. Building trust is on her now. I don't want to hate Sue. I'm angry with her, but I know I need to find a way past that. I want our kids to have their mother in their life. Regardless of the final outcome of this, we had a good life up until recently. I am grateful for the time we had, and we both love our children. The day after the meeting in the hospital, me and the wife started communicating electronically. We agreed that the best way to open the dialogue was for Sue to author a letter for me. The letter would detail everything she has done while we have been together. Everything about her friends, how it started with Frank, everything up until the day she sat down to type this all out. Her desires, wants, fears, needs, drives, etc. Oh, before I forget, we found out Frank has left the country. He has transferred money back, or at least the half that belongs to his wife. So Frank's wife is okay. Turns out, Frank's own mother hired a PI to track him down Monday. She was worried about him, plus very angry. Her mother will not tell us where he is, only that he is in a different country. Frank has agreed to an uncontested divorce and will not be back anytime soon. From what I have been told, one of the betrayed husbands apparently threatened Frank on Saturday. But I don't know, it's mostly hearsay and rumor at this point. Sue's letter shows the process Sue went through to get to a point where she could justify to herself having an affair. I was surprised to learn that it actually started over 3 years ago. It was incredibly hard for me to read, but it felt honest. Very honest. A woman from their school friend group, let's call her Betty, that moved away at 18, had moved back to the area around 4 years ago with her family. Betty started an affair with an ex from school. She would wax on about how great it was, how they would sneak off to spa hotels, blah blah, how nobody got hurt because they didn't know, blah blah, how she deserved it, blah blah, how the cheating actually made her a better wife, blah blah blah. Basically, every cheating excuse in the book. I have learned that a total of 4 women in the group have cheated on their husbands in addition to Sue. 2 of them each had short affairs that terminated after the first physical meeting. Betty had multiple long-term affairs over the years. One other woman had a 7-month affair that just ended. She joined Betty in the promotional efforts for the benefits of affairs when she started hers 7 months ago. From what I hear, 3 husbands have already decided to file for divorce. I've been trying to understand my wife's actions to see if there is something I missed. It's been hard to accept, but her actions in regards to the affair seem to have nothing to do with me. She has explained how life became monotone and the affair became a fantasy that grew over the years, a fantasy escape of sorts from day-to-day life. When Frank showed an interest, she got trapped in it. The rush, the excitement, she never really considered the consequences, or that it would hurt me or her family. It was never her intention. She got obsessed with getting her fix, and it took more and more risk to get it. Her cheating friends egged her on, while her loyal friends spoke against it, but didn't insist. I have talked a lot to Sue and her therapist. I have understood that I need to think a little differently about this. It's not black and white. There are many additional variables and nuances to consider, not just my own perception, hurt, and ego. Once I realized that, I needed to take time to fully reflect on this before I decide anything. My stress levels have gone way back, almost back to normal. Several therapists have explained it to me in the mental framework of this type of compulsive addictive behavior. I have also talked to a lot of wayward wives and BSs. Thank you so much for answering all my stupid questions. I'm starting to better understand this now. This does not excuse Sue's actions, but it makes it a little understandable in some ways. I can comprehend it. This doesn't mean I forgive or forget it though. Like everyone knows, smoking is bad, drinking is bad, exercising regularly is important, junk food hurts you, etc. People know these things, still they do them all their lives. Look at the lung cancer ward with dying patients still smoking outside. I understand it's a similar reaction in Sue's brain in relation to this affair. An affair became a fantasy. The excitement of it became an addiction, like a kind of adrenaline junkie. At the hotel, Frank had just started to give her oral after some initial touching and kissing, and they were only a few minutes into it when I crashed reality into her fantasy world. Sue has confessed that she was going to go all the way. After reality hit, she became desperate to fix it. It was all she could think about. It explains her behavior a bit after D-Day. When she read the Reddit posts and lost hope that she could fix anything, she just couldn't deal with it. She tried to end it. She has admitted that if the shoe was on the other foot, she would leave me. So at least I know she's being honest. I seriously doubt she would cheat again. She got scarred for life. Now she just cannot understand herself why she did this. Now I see Sue as I would look at someone with a gambling addiction. I don't respect that kind of weakness, but I believe people can change. I am no choir boy myself, and experimented with drugs back in the day. I got out of it when someone gave me a chance. So I will see if Sue can deal with her issues with my help. To be honest, I think the shock of it cured her of that vice. That brings me to the future. I will give Sue an opportunity to first regain my respect, and then maybe, just maybe, my trust. If she regains my respect and trust, I will consider starting to date her again. Sue seems to be motivated by this and is clearly putting in a lot of effort. I have made it clear that this is on her to do this. She will have to prove it to me. She has already had one of the betrayed husbands over and explained everything to him. Then she invited his wife over, her former friend, and told her that she had explained everything to her husband. Lots of yelling ensued, but she stood firm and admitted her role in it. That took guts. She did the right thing. She has also apologized and talked to Frank's wife. They sort of hit it off, actually. They were joking about Frank's weaknesses over several glasses of wine. It was all kind of strange to me. Bizarre, even. I listened from the hallway. Frank was not painted in a flattering light, to put it that way. Is this something women do? Bond over ripping into a common ex? Sue has asked the remaining betrayed husbands if they want the same information for them. We had Betty at our door yesterday, begging Sue not to tell her husband. Betty wanted Sue to agree to a light version, or she was sure her husband would leave her. My wife refused her request. Betty's husband is coming over for dinner this evening. Sue promised he will get the full, unfiltered truth. It's safe to say Sue and Betty are no longer friends. She has been flooded by messages from the other cheaters, and she has refused them as well. The loyal wives have made requests for Sue to meet their husbands to reassure them, and she has agreed to this as well. I guess she knows who her friends are now. I actually made a big spreadsheet of my choices and options. It's a gigantic mess. Measuring the pros and cons. What is best for the kids? What is the benefits of this and that? What is the negative side of this and that? For example, there is no guarantee that a new girlfriend would be any more faithful. There is no guarantee I would find a new partner compatible with my kids, etc., etc., etc. All in all, I come to the conclusion that my best choice for now, especially for the kids, is to take my time and see if Sue makes any progress. I need to see that she can get to a point where we can try to build a new relationship. The one we have is dead. Still, it was a good one on so many levels. Maybe we could have that again. Maybe it will fail. Who knows? I'm not in a rush, and if I think it's futile, I will act. Until then, we can practice co-parenting and find ways to remain at least cordial. I am not a perfect husband or human by any stretch. I have many flaws just like everyone else. I will keep this in mind whenever I feel I'm in a position where I have to judge Sue moving forward. So this is probably my last activity here. Maybe I will do another update in a year or two. I cannot thank the Reddit community enough. Thank you for all your help. I know that in the end, it's up to me to decide, and thankfully, you all set time aside to help me reflect more broadly. Thank you for watching the Red World. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.